What's up, guys? It's Dan from Coin Bureau Trading, back at it again with another crypto market updates. Today we've got XRP, Stellar, and Hedera. I'm sure you're all wondering what's going on with these cryptos. Why are they pumping? How high are they going to go? That kind of information. If this is the kind of content that you enjoy, then be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ping that notification bell. Before we get started, do keep in mind that nothing in this video is financial advice. It's just my personal analysis of these cryptos. Your analysis could be different, and honestly, guys, if it is, that's awesome. The more difference of opinion that we have, the better traders, the better investors we're all going to become. So with that being said, guys, let's jump right into it, starting here with XRP. What's really interesting, of course, is that Ripple has partnered with Ondo Finance. Without getting too much into the weeds, Ondo Finance is kind of this real-world asset crypto project, and it just announced that it's going to be basically tokenizing one of its products on the XRP ledger, which is, of course, very bullish for XRP. But there's another, a rabbit hole here, which I'm sure some of you will know, is that Ondo Finance seems to have a close relationship to the Trump administration. That's because Trump's DeFi protocol, World Liberty Financial, has been buying Ondo tokens, and Ondo Finance was actually a sponsor of Trump's inauguration. So obviously, with Ripple getting involved there with Ondo, and of course with Ondo using XRP, this is going to put XRP, let's say, higher up on the list of cryptos. You know, let's say just think about this, guys, when crypto's being discussed behind the scenes in the Trump administration, and they're talking about Solana and whatever else, like the obvious ones, right? Ethereum. This kind of increases the chances that XRP is going to show up more frequently in those conversations, which of course is going to be bullish for XRP overall. And in my opinion, guys, of course, this announcement is from a couple days ago, and I do believe that this is why XRP has been so resilient. Again, here, nothing has really changed since we last covered XRP last week. The scenario that I kind of described is kind of playing out. To quickly recap, I basically said that it's possible that XRP has hit this $3.5 target. I know it got to like 3.4 or 3.41 or something, but that my base case was that it would probably start consolidating sideways the same way that it did the last time it saw a big rally, before it starts moving higher. And as you can see, guys, that's almost exactly what's happened here. And it's interesting that, there was quite a nasty washout 3 days ago here, and XRP fell almost back down to this resistance level. But you can see with that long wick, again, we're on the daily chart here, guys. When you see these long wicks on like daily charts, weekly charts, that tells you that a lot of people were buying that dip. And not surprisingly, a lot of people were buying the dip on XRP, especially when it fell below $3. And yeah, guys, I do think that this $3.5 target here is still intact. I do think that XRP is going to take another run at it. It's probably going to take, again, probably like another week or so. The worst case, of course, would be that XRP really just, chops the same way that it did last time, almost for like a whole month. That's not my base case, though. I do think that XRP will start rallying higher here sooner rather than later. And I do think there's going to be a little bit of resistance around this $3.5 target. But once XRP does get above that, guys, I do think that $4.5 would be the next target after that. And as I noted here in my previous target math, I do think that the all-time high for XRP could be somewhere around the $4.5 range. That's simply because XRP as an asset would already be so big. And I do think that we're going to see a lot of profit taking by whales around that $5 level. And I think the result could be that we basically, and again, that doesn't mean that XRP is going to rally up to around $4.5 and then crash. I think what's more likely to happen is that XRP will rally in the short term here in the next couple of weeks to $3.5. Then maybe sometime later in February or March, it'll rally up to that $4.5 range. And then I think what's going to happen there is it's going to start chopping sideways, creating like this classic distribution pattern as whales take profit. And you're probably going to see XRP chopping between like $4 and even like 5.5 or even $6. We're going to see basically like a chop around that range. But the moves to that like $5.5 would probably be very temporary, or just be like some liquidation driven something, who knows. But I do think that we would see like a distribution pattern forming there. But again, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. We have to take things one step at a time. And as the charts show today, we need to wait for XRP to get to this $3.5 target. Once it gets above and starts consolidating, then what we can do is we can basically take this target math and we can move the whole thing one step up, if that makes any sense, where the resistance becomes a new starting point, the target becomes the new resistance. And then again, just using very basic target math, the difference between those two levels being $1 would give a $4.5 target for XRP in the coming weeks, like into February and March. But again, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. With that being said, you might have noticed that we were using Binance there. The Coin Bureau deals page has a 20% trading fee discount on Binance, as well as up to $600 in bonuses. These trading fee discounts don't cost you a thing. You can sign up. It's completely for free. The exchange gets a new user. You get a trading fee discount, and we get a cut of those fees. That's how the Coin Bureau makes its money. We're not sponsored sponsored by any crypto projects. We're not sponsored by Solana. We're not sponsored by Ethereum, not sponsored by Ripple or anyone. We don't care what cryptos you like, so long as you're buying, selling, trading. We're here to basically help you out with that with our deals in the description. Again, and Binance isn't the only one we have. We have deals on a whole bunch of other exchanges. So if you're not a fan of Binance, you can check out other deals down in the description. Anyways, guys, moving on now to Stellar. This is where things get interesting. Stellar seems to have an upcoming catalyst here where the Stellar Foundation is going to be doing a Q4 quarterly review next Tuesday. And what's funny, guys, is that with a lot of these catalysts for these crypto projects, objectively, most of them are actually not always that bullish. Like even for like the largest crypto projects, even stuff when you hear about like, oh, like Franklin Templeton partnering with whoever, it's like usually those partnerships are paid and it's not very like lucrative. It doesn't really make any, it's not going to really drive demand for the token price, but it does make for a very good narrative and very good speculation. And in the case of Stellar, I do think that we're about to get a catalyst like that here coming up next week on February 4th. So I am looking forward to reviewing, Stellar next week to see how it does, because I do think that's going to be a catalyst that takes it higher. There's probably going to be some stuff discussed there. And again, I don't necessarily think it's going to be, fundamentally bullish for XRP, for Stellar, for XLM, just because, they're doing a Q4 quarterly review. So all the stuff they'll be talking about is stuff that already happened. So logically, it wouldn't have any impact on XLM whatsoever right now. But it will make for a very good narrative that could be, something that gives it a boost, which of course brings me here to the price chart for XLM. As I've been saying, guys, I do think that XLM is lagging XRP, and I do think that XLM is going to follow suit here in the next couple of weeks. I know I've been saying that again for the next couple of weeks, but to my, I guess, in my defense, XLM has been slowly rising up to this resistance level that I've been highlighting for a couple of weeks now. It's getting there. Of course, it's a little bit slower, but objectively speaking, this chart is looking much better than most altcoins, and I don't think that's a coincidence. XLM, XRP, they're all made in USA cryptos. They all fall under this ISO 20022 category. So I do think that they're going to do extremely well in the coming weeks. And again, I do think that XLM will catch up to XRP. So to quickly recap the target math here, the starting point of this most recent move is around 24 cents. The resistance is quite clearly somewhere around 54 cents. The difference between those two levels is 30 cents. And when we take the difference and we add it to the resistance, we get a target of 84 cents, which from from XLM. Sorry, guys, these acronyms are killing me today. Or the tickers are killing me today. From the current level, you'd be looking at more than a 2x gain. But again, if you are trading, just do keep in mind that you do need to wait and see for XLM to break above this resistance line before going long or anything crazy like that. But I do think that this resistance line here will be broken. And I guess to clarify, I don't think that's going to be the cycle top or anything. This is just going to be a top here in the next couple of weeks, probably sometime in February, and it could be kickstarted with next week's meeting there. So do keep an eye out on XLM. With that being said, guys, let's move on now to Hedera. And again, this is where things are also interesting. As I've been mentioning the last couple of weeks, Hedera has a conference upcoming in late February. The thing that caught my eye, though, is I saw on their Twitter/X that they were really highlighting the dominance of US-based cryptos. In the case of Hedera, it's something I've been saying a lot, and I'm going to say it again. According to Bloomberg ETF analysts, they believe that Hedera will get a spot ETF before XRP, simply because Hedera is not facing the same regulatory scrutiny as Ripple and XRP. Some of you might have heard, unfortunately, the SEC appealed the case against Ripple, so that makes things a little bit uncertain, whereas in Hedera's case, that's never been something that's been levied. Hedera, HBAR, falls into that ISO 20022 category. Similar audience, similar interest, same kind of institutions, same kind of investors, right? Are involved in HBAR as they are with XRP. And again, I'm not saying that HBAR is superior. I'm just pointing out that that Hedera looks like it's going to get that ETF first. And I think that Hedera posting about these USA cryptos and everything, of course, I know that's something that's been like a emerging meta, let's say. But in the case of HBAR, I think really I think they know that an ETF is potentially coming. And I do find it very interesting that they're highlighting this USA stuff. And of course, HBAR is a USA-based crypto. In any case, guys, exact same story here as XLM. HBAR is following here quite strongly. It is slowly working its way back up to this resistance level and is going to break above, I think, probably in the next week or two. Again, I know I've been saying this for a while, but you can see it's been slowly grinding its way up, and eventually this huge pattern here, which is basically a bull flag, eventually that is going to break to the upside, and we will see HBAR explode quite significantly. And again, we can calculate that using our very simple target math. The starting point is around 15 cents. The resistance is around 35 cents here, and the difference between those two levels is 20 cents. We take the difference, we add it to the resistance. That gives us a target of 55 cents, which of course from the current price, you'd be looking at roughly a 75% gain, which is not too shabby at all. And if you're trading, do keep in mind you need to wait for HBAR to get above that resistance level and get some confirmation there before going long or anything. And you'd be looking at a 55% gain to the upside, which of course you could juice with a little bit of leverage. If we do see a rejection, HBAR could fall back down to 25 cents. Something I probably should have mentioned here with Stellar as well. But honestly, guys, at this stage, I think most of this this stuff is over. I think even as I was saying earlier this week, everyone is so bearish and like beaten down. And I was saying, I'm pretty sure that this is that we're close to a bottom in altcoins. And after yesterday's Fed announcements, I think that this is the case. But the Fed's announcements, I think, are not the reason why altcoins are going to be doing well here. And especially HBAR, I think, is going to do very well. I'm going to explain why in just a second. But before I do, I first need to shill the Coin Bureau Club. As always, that's where we do deep dives into small cap altcoins every single week. The way that we pick those altcoins is that we do polls, and we basically, the way that we add the altcoins to those polls is based on our research as well as the research of our members. We take their suggestions, we combine the two, and we kind of put out a poll. Whichever altcoin wins is the one we review. We have a research feed where I'm sharing insights like I do at the end of this video. I share those kinds of insights every single day in more detail, I would say. We also showcase our personal crypto portfolios as well as the cryptos that we're considering buying. We have an exclusive deals page where you can find discounts on trading, like trading analytics and like crypto analytics platforms and stuff like that. And we have a members Discord where you can ask us questions and where I'm doing technical analysis on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some altcoins every single day. And I do take requests, although I don't always have the time to do them. But when I do, then I do. Anyways, guys, so for today's alpha, this is one thing that I actually posted about in the research feed today. It's something that I think a lot of people have overlooked. And basically, that's the SEC looks like it's making steps towards approving the spot, like a spot Litecoin ETF. And this is significant, guys, because a lot of people thought that these altcoin ETFs would not come until there's like listings on other exchanges, like futures on CME, and a bunch of other stuff that basically, like, it was assumed that there's going to be a whole bunch of other hoops to jump through first before the SEC approves spot altcoin ETF applications. But the fact that the SEC is moving forward with this Litecoin one is kind of a sign to the crypto industry that basically you don't need to jump through all those hoops if the crypto is clearly not a security, or if you can argue that it's not a security, then you can just like file for the ETF and chances are the SEC will approve it. In my view, this is a big part of why altcoins have been pumping, or some altcoins have been pumping over the last 24 hours. Yes, of course, it's because of the comments made by the Fed, basically Jerome allowing banks to, well, not allowing, but he was basically reaffirming that yes, banks can serve crypto clients, which of course is bullish for these ISO 20022 cryptos like XRP, XLM, and HBAR. But the main reason I think why altcoins are kind of perking up is because the SEC has kind of signaled, hey, like, you don't need to jump through all these hoops, just file, and if the filing makes sense, then we'll approve the ETF. Of course, we'll probably need to wait until the SEC actually does approve for this really to be understood by the markets. But I think, in my view, this is kind of like a small watershed moment that's going to become obvious to everyone once these ETFs do approve. And I do think that the Litecoin ETFs will be approved. I don't know when. Exactly. I haven't looked into the details there, but I do think that once that happens, everyone will realize, oh my God, it's real. Like, we can actually file and we can be approved and we don't need to jump through any more hoops. So this is definitely something to watch if you have the time for it, of course. And if you don't, then you can just watch the Coin Bureau and we'll be sure to keep you up to date. Anyways, guys, if you did make it this far, then be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, ping that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one.